My name is Malcolm. I am one of God's creatures. God is sure creative. When I was a kid, I used to think of myself as one of the brothers. I have two brothers, so that would have made me the third brother, but other people perceived me as a girl, and I couldn't really correct them. It made me feel like I wasn't there. By me coming into me, I didn't ruin or disfigure anything or destroy anything, and I know that it might look that way, and I'm very sorry for that. But I came to the point where I had to live into the future, or I was not going to live. I find that some people hear, just by who I am, they hear the sermon about stepping into who God has called you to be and undergoing transformation, even if it's hard. And that's a good sermon. I'm glad they hear that sermon. Other people are reminded about a sermon about hellfire and damnation and sinfulness. I wish they wouldn't hear that sermon. I don't know what about me needs to experience hell. I wasn't really ready to do anything while I was going by the name Miriam. I was just sort of a lonely person. And I don't think that's a way to head into ministry. So I don't think I, as Miriam, could have been a minister or much of anything. I mean, I was hitting a dead end that way. So when I entered seminary, I was not under the name Malcolm. And I had to go through that personal journey first before I considered ministry with others and ministry in community and a professional religious identity. That came second. First, I had to be who I was.
I guess I had just planned to transition and then melt into the woodwork. But after, my boyfriend was murdered in 1999, and it became such a nationally, known thing, I was sort of put in this position where I could either choose to try and do something with that attention or not. And so I've done some public speaking and stuff on hope and finding love and just, the normalcy of being transgender, transsexual. All I ever wanted was just to have a life and love somebody. And I think that's all, any of us want. And in the community of trans people and even in the normal world, I don't know why people have to complicate that and mess it up.
I've been a police officer in California for 23 years, and I've been with SFPD for 19. Well, they hired me in 1984. I was an out lesbian, and then 10 years later, in 1994, I transitioned on the job. I know one time when there was a media attention, I had been on all of the local news, all of the national news, all of the international news. And then I went down on the peninsula for a doctor's appointment, and I pulled into this gas station to pump gas, and the gas station attendant came over to me and he said, "Aren't you just on TV? Aren't you that guy? Aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And he looked me eye to eye, and he said, "Good for you." It was incredibly affirming. It was life affirming.